Wait, before we dive into this New York Times article, let's just do like a quick little. I want to do a little prelude because it's gonna be New York Times just came out with this deep dive on post Uvalde, Texas, and I was actually sitting just earlier this week. I was sitting with a friend, and he mentioned offhandedly that like all the like Texas actually passed some reasonable, significant gun control measures after Uvalde. And I was like, no, the fuck they didn't.
No,
he was like, yeah, they did. I could have sworn that. I was like, no, they didn't. I don't know what you're confusing this with, but I'm from Texas. They did not do that shit at all, famously. And so we looked it up, and he was like, oh, shit. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Actually, they got much worse.
It did. And just like with like, something similar happened in Tennessee, I believe, where they had a mass shooting or school shootings, and instead, these Southern politicians, it's political suicide for them to invoke any sort of inkling of a reasonable gun control measure, but they have to do something. So, but then whatever they do is ass backwards. With Tennessee, it involved more police in schools, and yeah, that was what we did in Texas. Was after Uvalde, new legislation, nothing to do with mental health, nothing to do with access to guns. It was let's get cops in every single school in Texas. And so now New York Times has done, I can't even say a deep dive because all this information the police won't generally hand over. So it is an attempt at a deep dive. Yeah. It's a New York Times analyzing what little data they could find to see what has happened now that every single school in Texas has cops in them.
Yeah. Having cops in schools is like showing all the kids in ISS, this is you. This will be you in the future.
Yeah.
The dumbest of you, this is where you'll be back. All right. Yeah. You never leave, actually. So, but we'll get started. Texas via New York Times. Texas school police pepper sprayed, tackled, and tasered students. Since the massacre at Robb Elementary in Uvalde in 2022, school districts across Texas have spent billions of dollars to station police officers on every campus in the state. The effort, the most ambitious in the nation, was intended to protect students from similar tragedies. But the constant presence of officers has transformed the way many public schools manage discipline, subjecting students to heavy-handed police tactics for behavior that once would have landed them only in the principal's office. The New York Times and the San Antonio Express News found, imagine getting fucking suplexed by a cop because you're out of uniform. Like,
yeah.
Does that skirt go past? Put your hands down. Does that skirt go past your hands?
I mean, you're joking, but quite literally, like, I recommend the listeners read this entire article. It's very long. We only included some snippets of it for time and length, but interactions with police officers. So we know police officers don't understand how to de-escalate. They only understand how to escalate. They operate with their ego, right? When you're a teacher, when you're at a school, that's a big part of your job is to set your ego aside. You are not there to take it personally, even if you do get like horribly insulted by a teenager. Like, I'm a former teacher. That shit happens. It's part of your job to be like, oh yeah, my job is to take care of children right now.
And even when you're hanging out with children, you have to employ a level of like, this is a kid.
Yes.
I'm talking to a kid here.
Yeah. Police, they got none of that. They operate with their ego. They only operate in escalation, not de-escalation. They are constantly ready to go on a power trip. So yes, minor disciplinary issues like your joke, like uniform thing, or just like whatever thing you could imagine. That's where the interaction will start. And if a kid is having a bad day and throws some shit at the cop like they would throw a teacher, well, now the cop is going to respond not like a teacher, not like a school official, not like someone who should be around kids, but like a fucking cop who's out on the beat and beats the shit out of this kid. We're talking about punching, we're talking about slamming, we're talking about tasing, we're talking about putting a 10-year-old kid with autism in a hog tie, handcuffs and handcuffed feet, like instances of outright violence at the hands of police. Because what else are fucking police gonna do at schools?
Yeah, no, they're not gonna, get on one knee and give them a lesson and be like, hey kids, violence is wrong. Or they're gonna beat the fuck. They're gonna treat these kids like they're like Miami drunk fucking frat boys. Just fuck them up. But I'll continue. But the constant presence of officers has transformed the way many public schools manage discipline, subjecting students to heavy-handed police tactics for behaviors that once would have landed them only in the principal's office. The New York Times and the San Antonio Express News found officers in Texas displayed startling belligerence at times, grabbing or tackling students of a fraction of their size over misconduct that often appeared to be minor. Children in elementary school, included one as young as 6, were handcuffed. Teenagers were arrested, charged with crimes, and even jailed in the most extreme cases. They wound up in hospitals, bruised or concussed after being body slammed or shocked by tasers, which are prohibited in the state's juvenile detention facilities, but allowed in public schools. Damn, so weapons that they don't even have in juvenile detention centers are in schools and being deployed on regular student body. That's literally okay. There is no comprehensive record of use of force incidents across the more than 1,000 public school districts in Texas. Many districts and police agencies declined to disclose their data to our journalists. Others did not respond to public records requests. More than 200 provided some information, but in most cases, it was limited. Still, by examining even the small share of records, our reporters identified more than 2,600 use of force incidents that occurred from January 2022 through December 2025. About 450 of those infractions were described in detailed reports, which we reviewed. We also watched video footage from over 24 encounters. The records provide a first of its kind look at how Texas' initiative around school policing has played out in districts large and small, urban and rural. So they're basically like, we only took a small sample size, and it's massive violence, a wave of violence occurring in schools thanks to the cowardice of police at Uvalde. That's
exactly. So like, we don't have to keep reading because it's, it just it goes into a lot of detail over all this stuff that you could easily imagine on your own. But I mean, you exactly nailed it here. I mean, like the absolute absurdity of America. Like there is no other country that has this epidemic of mass shootings. There is not a country that is at our level of development that has this easy access to guns. It is such an easy thing to wrap your mind around, like what the issue possibly could be. There's no other country that's as developed as ours that has police killing 1,100 people a year. And then
like when you look at like the next 3 countries, it's like Canada and Mexico, and they're just hundreds of.
Well, Mexico probably up there, but yeah, Canada is probably at like.
I think I looked it up like 2 weeks ago. Mexico is up there. Like it is literally Canada and Mexico.
Are you talking about police killing people?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
but we can look it up. Mexico's they do have a high. I think they have like a higher rate, and then the next one is Canada, but it's still
much lower,
incredibly lower,
which is crazy to think about. Like the way we are programmed to think about Mexican like society and the cartel and gun violence.
Literally, why I looked it up, I was like, oh, because in my mind, like, they have to kill the cartel, and then the Mexican police force is probably like bought out by the cartel, and they're just running rampant. And I saw the numbers, I was like, I mean, it's high, but it ain't nowhere near America. And it's just funny that they get the fucking Sicario, negative press behind it. And meanwhile, here in America, we literally have police force fucking kids up.
Yes. And I want to just like highlight the absolute absurdity of how just dumb this is on a face value. Like Uvalde was a situation where all these children and 2 teachers were killed when the police were there. The police, like, it's not like it's so stupid. Like, it was an absolute failure of the police. That's what it's famous for. The police were there for 70 minutes. They didn't do shit. Did not confront this kid. Yeah. And this horrible tragedy that is coupled with this absolute failure of the police, this what should be a disillusioning of Texans that the police are really gonna are the answer to these problems. What is our Texas politicians' response? cops in schools.
Yeah.
The same cops who fucking failed. How is this like it's beyond illogical in the first place, but the fact that it is in response to Uvalde makes like less than 0 sense. It makes negative sense.
It would make more sense to deploy the parents of Uvalde who ran into the buildings to protect their kids. It would make more sense to put them in schools than actual cops, because at least they actually tried to stop the fucking shooter. Just
all the Uvalde cops did was stop the parents from running up in and trying to
go in and
save their own kids. So this New York Times article, they did a lot of great work analyzing what data they were able to get their hands of. But, New York Times, being the liberal New York Times, they don't really provide any sort of possible solutions. And if the liberals are providing solutions, it's all like nitpicky, reformy. The answer is simple. Get police out of schools. There's no reason to have cops in schools. And your initial instinct, well, don't we need people to protect? Yes. Easily just have hired armed security that are trained, that have adequate training to deal with children, and know that they have no business doing anything disciplinarian unless there is a kid with a gun who's going to shoot the place up. There's no reason to have these psycho cops who, one, every episode we go through the headline roundup of cops being creepy with children, and two, why do we need this portal into the prison system, which is the police, at all of our schools in America? Our schools that, just like so many other parts of American public society, are underfunded and failing. So what do? Just like in other parts of public society, we throw cops in there to jail and enact violence upon victims in our society that need help, that need to be pulled up rather than beat up, handcuffed, tased, and thrown into cages.
Yeah, and schools are supposed to be like these like cocoons for kids to develop in a safe place where they can make mistakes and be not next to the just policing and you're allowed to make mistakes in schools, and that's why when we let them out, then they make mistakes and go to jail. But you're already like introducing them to jail immediately. They don't even get that opportunity to make the mistake that would. I mean, I was doing crazy shit when I was like crazy shit, but shit that if a cop saw, I would definitely be in jail. And I'm glad I had like mentors and people pulling me in. You should do this program. You should do this program.
It undermines the whole concept of what a child is in the first place. Like, what is a child if we are going to throw them in cages like we do adults, right? Like, what is it? What does that mean? Is it just simply a number? It's not. We have all these protections for children in our society because we collectively as humans understand that they need to be protected because they are vulnerable and innocent. And the fact that we have cops in there beating them up, handcuffing them, and throwing them in jail is saying that we don't even believe in the concept of children in the first place.
And I'm not saying kids don't deserve to be fucked up. They do. But I think
by Ashton.
Yes. If there is going to be someone allowed to fuck, we should designate one guy to fuck up kids.
Yeah. I believe in the Ashton policy when it comes to our youth.
Because at least I'll have some discretion at some point. I'll be like, all right, he's had enough.
You good?
You straight? You straight? Get up. Get up. I ain't go that hard. You crying for no reason. But, cops in school, that's the offers no protection. That's like wearing a condom with holes in it. It's just no protection. And that condom gives you gonorrhea instead.
There you go.
Not only do you not get any protection, you also already have gonorrhea. But
what kind of condom is that? It's gonorrhea condom.
Gonorrhea.
Oh, why?
But it's a Magna. No, I got 5 kids on the way, actually. Every part of my dick itches. But,
Yeah, so, good.
The only thing we can do now is just teach these kids to fight. Hey, man, that cop square up on you, nigga. Square up back, nigga. I ain't know what to tell you no more, dog. We're in the wild, wild west now. Cops is fucking up kids. I don't even know
Yeah, I would say don't square up to a
Okay,
cop.
sure.
Maybe slight disagreement between me and Ashton there, but
You know,
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to tell
he's
you.
Professor
Like,
X. I'm Magneto. You know, we
yeah,
got different philosophies. On
that's
that.
true.
I
Yeah,
say fuck them, fight back, Nick.
yeah.
Grab the gun. Don't. All right. Don't
Like
listen.
Magneto would just be able to take the gun out of his. Just do like what Magneto
Yeah,
could do,
this is-
just without the superpowers.
Stop the bullet.
Stop the bullet. Yeah, don't listen to Ashton.
Yeah,
That's our
I'm gonna stop
policy
talking
on
right
our
now, actually.
podcast.
We're gonna move on.